Hi, I'm Amy,
Hi, I'm Erin,
and we're part of the St Paul's Decarbonise group.
and today we're going to be talking about how our city can move towards climate justice.
So, we feel that we should make public transport more affordable in our country, as it's a way that a lot of people get around the city and the country. And our buses in Scotland are working towards this, as they are offering free bus travel for under 21s, which comes in January of next year, and it's going to be really good because it means that people will be able to use the buses to get around the city, but at the same time it also excludes adults who may want to use the buses, and a lot of people also use trains to get around.
Yeah, because the train tickets in Glasgow especially are very expensive, and especially for people who might be using them every single day because they need to commute into the city every single day or around the city or around the country. It can be extremely expensive, which can maybe make people choose like alternatives, which means they might have to use their car, or it can exclude people from lower income communities because Glasgow itself is a very deprived city and a lot of people in the city might not be able to afford the extortionate train tickets. So what we'd really like to see would be a move towards making train tickets more affordable, so it was more inclusive for everyone in the city and everyone would be able to access public transport.
Yeah, because then it would mean that people who normally would use their cars to get into the city or like go to work or whatever means they have other options, so like using trains to get into the city, and they'll feel more like able to do that because if the prices aren't as expensive, meaning it won't cost as much for them to commute to work every day.
Because a lot of the times the prices are what really puts people off of using the trains because they're so expensive, and a lot of the times people will be like, oh well, it's probably cheaper for me to just use my car. So if the public transport prices were lower, including on the buses as well, because sometimes the bus tickets for adults can be really expensive, especially if it's like maybe an adult with children, which obviously will be changing once under 21s are on the bus for free, but still, even for an adult ticket it is quite expensive and it can be hard to be able to afford it.
Yeah. We also feel that we as a school need to make changes, and we are working towards this because our school is actually getting, I think it's around 100 trees that we're going to be planting in our grounds, and we've decided kind of as a school and as a like community that we're going to plant them in over by PE, which has a view of the motorway next to it, and we want to plant them there because we feel like this area of our school is not very like attractive and it just ruins the look of our school, but also if there's trees in front of where the motorway is, it will reduce the CO2 emissions that are coming into the school because the trees will be able to absorb it better.
We were thinking we could hopefully come in contact with local councillors, MPs and MSPs to be able to talk about different issues when it comes to public transport, but also making Glasgow greener on the whole, because we think that by maybe planting more trees around the city and creating more green spaces, it will mean that Glasgow will become more climate friendly.
Yeah, because we have a lot of open spaces and greenery that can be used, and I feel like people need to take advantage of that, especially people who are in power like MPs and MSPs. So if they take advantage of that and use that as spaces which can be used, then it will make the city a lot better.
We could do this through promoting this among our school community, through student parent evenings, also when the student council meets, and also when the parent council meets. Some members of our prefect team and that can talk about things like that, and also we can too when we're discussing this in front of the whole school.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that everyone's voice is heard, and no matter what, like even if not only in our school but in our community, we want to make sure that everyone's voice is heard, and if anyone has an idea on how the city can be improved, that they voice their opinion to their local MPs and MSPs so that we can make Glasgow greener.
Yeah, and also with the MPs and MSPs holding constituent surgeries, that's a really good chance for people to be able to talk about climate issues and be able to discuss it with them. So if the MPs and MSPs were able to make this more open, like to promote it more, then people would maybe feel more comfortable going and speaking to them. and that would be quite a good idea because people would be able to talk about the issues surrounding climate within our city.
Yeah. And as a country, Scotland, we're moving towards more green energy and renewable energy, and overall we are quite a renewable energy country. Like, we use a lot of wind turbines because of the amount of wind we get. We use hydropower because on the coasts, and we do use solar power panels and solar power, but obviously that isn't as effective as the wind turbines, because that is the big one for us, because we get so much wind, and being able to use it to generate that into electricity, which can power all our like houses and schools and shops and everything, it's really good. And the fact that we are working towards making that like our one, like, renewable energy is the one main source of power is really good, because we were a country, and especially Glasgow was a city that was built from like the Industrial Revolution, and to move on from that and to find new ways to power our city is really good.
Yeah, because especially Glasgow's dependence on oil and fossil fuels really wasn't good, and for us as a country and as a city to be able to move forward from that is a really big achievement, because dependence on fossil fuels isn't sustainable, because fossil fuels, they just completely are an awful thing to use, and renewable energy sources are much better.
Yeah, because with fossil fuels, it's like, not only is it so detrimental and damaging to our atmosphere and the planet, it's like they're gonna run out as well. Like, they are running out, especially like in Scotland. Like, we're getting close, which is why I think we started to use more renewable energy like sooner, and it's good that now we are able to be like, yeah, we're like one of the countries that's like mostly powered by renewable energy, and soon will be solely powered by renewable energy.
And I think really what it is that we're happy that Scotland is moving towards a more greener future, and we would like to see more done about this. Like, we'd love to see it to happen even faster than it is.
Yeah.
But it's just great to see that us as a country are really moving towards a brighter and greener future.
Yeah. So thank you for listening to our opinions and our little conversation. We hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.